Okay, guys, this is a series of videos going over exactly what we did in class with Excel. Okay, so we're going to walk through this whole test and output this Excel sheet like we have here. Okay, and follow along because it's a good thing to watch because the test is going to be very similar to this. I'll have you do a lot of the same VLOOKUP, if statements, and styles on the Excel sheet for the test as we did in class. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the file, this file, J1832 evidence.rtf. I'm going to put my name on it on every page in a header, okay? And I'm going to save it as a word process document. So I have, let's minimize this. I put everything on my desktop already. For the test, I'll have you guys download some zipped files from Plato. You can put them on your desktops. It'll look something like this. So if I open up .rtf file, that stands for a rich text format. Okay, don't forget, that is a rich text format is a generic file format. Okay, oops, sorry, that's my old one here, so I'm going to get rid of that. So if I open up an RTF formatted document, that means that it is not a word processed document. Sorry, I've got this one already. I'll leave it here because I've got my evidence in here already. Okay, and this will save us time later on as we go on. Okay, so if I open up an RTF document and I want to save it as a Word document, don't forget I've got to go to File, Save As. I'll put it in there. Okay, and I'm going to save it not as a rich text format or as an RTF format, but as a word processed doc. Okay, so very important that we do that. Yep, that'll upgrade all this stuff. Okay, and as I can see up here, it saved it in the extension as a .docx, which is a Word document. Okay, this is just my evidence that we did in class, and I'll go over that again, but that'll save me time when I run through this. Great, so I did that. Now it says I will need to place a screenshot and answer the questions in this evidence document. To do a screenshot, for you guys, you either press the little FN key and the F11 key. So the FN key is at the bottom left of my keyboard, and the F11 is up at the top row with all those little Fs and numbers, or it's Control and F11. Either one of those will take a screenshot. And then if I go into my document like I do over here, and if I hit paste, just do Control V. If I hit Control V, it'll paste in here. Let's see if I got anything in there right now. Yep, so I've already got something in there that I pasted, or sorry, that I copied before. Let's get rid of that because we don't want that. That's just in the way. Undo. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back to my instructions now. So it says in my evidence, I've got to put my name, candidate number, et cetera, in the header. So don't forget how I do that. Okay, so I'm in my document. I go to Insert. Okay, and once I'm in Insert, I've got Header and Footer. Okay, so I click on Header, and they say, where do I want it again? I think it's top right-hand corner. So I'll select this one. Okay, get rid of this guy here. Boom, boom, and in here I'll type my name. Corner. Okay, so yeah, just for the test, I'll just have your guys' names in there. Okay, so that's great. I've got my name in the top right hand header. So I'm going to save that, and I can see that that's in the header there. And to get out of that, I can click on that, and I'm back in my evidence document. Okay, so let's go into the spreadsheet now. Okay, so very important to read this. You're going to prepare a spreadsheet model to calculate the higher rental costs of a log cabin. All currency values are in dollars. Always read this, guys. Make sure that your currency values, when you start to fill it out, are in the proper form. So for this, it's going to be in American dollars and 2 decimal places. Sometimes they'll ask you for pounds or euros or some other currency, so make sure that you read this section here. So it's dollars, 2 decimal places, okay? Cabins can be hired by the day of the week. Okay, I'm going to open up these two CSV files and examine the contents. Okay, and they want me to do this stuff to a CSV. Okay, before we do that, remember, we've got to import these .csv files into Excel. So it's kind of misleading because I look at it and it looks like just by that icon there, the little green and the X, it looks like, hey, it's a regular Excel. I can just click on it, it'll open up. But no, okay, no. You can't do that because if you don't export it as Excel, you're going to get all sorts of problems and your formulas aren't going to work later on down the test and you'll wonder what the heck went wrong. So I'm going to import these two files one at a time. Let's do the first one. I'm going to import the first one, J1832 booking. The way I do that, remember, open up a brand new Excel file. Okay, so yep, blank workbook. Okay, now I've got my new blank workbook. Okay, I go to data. Okay, and I go to get external data. Okay, and your menu might look a little bit different than this because of the different version you might have of Excel, but generally it'll all be in data, get external data, and we do from text. Okay, so I'm going to, my stuff is on my desktop. It's in this here, okay, and I'm going to do this one, so J1832 booking. I'm going to import it, okay. I want to make sure that the delimited button is set, okay. Does my data have headers? Okay, for this one it doesn't have headers. It's just got a bunch of information. I'll point that out when we do that. So I'm going to leave that blank. I'm not going to check that. I go next, and I want to select comma because it is a CSV file, a comma separated value folder. And I will unclick that, and I can see in this little preview, that's what it's going to look like, which is great. Okay, so I click next. Yep, let's keep it as general. We're not going to format any of the data right now because we'll do that as we go along in the test. Make sure that it is going to import it from A1. This little $sign $A$1 means that it's going to start importing from up here in A1, which is exactly what I want to do. Okay. All right, and there we are. So I've got my data imported from a .csv file. Okay, and as I can see, it says Book 1 Excel. Well, let's check the test and see what it wants us to save it as. Okay, so it says, save this as a spreadsheet with the file name J1832 underscore followed by your name. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to go to File, Save As, and just for, okay, I'm going to save it in the file that I'm working, and I'm going to change it to Okay, just gave some initials there for me, and I'm going to save it in that file, save, and great, it's got the name there. Okay, I'm going to pause this for now because I'm going to open up I'm going to save the other one, the cost, as a Excel file as well. Okay, so I'll put this on pause and we'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. All I did was I just imported the cost. Okay, that cost Excel file. Let's just save that. So we're going to save it. File, save as Excel. Okay. And it doesn't tell me how I have to save it, so I'm going to just save it as cost. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So yeah, I just imported this .csv file just the same way as I did this one here. The only difference was that when it asked me for it, does this have headers? I checked that little box that said, does it have headers? Because I can see here are the headers: code, name, sleeps, cabin, cost per day, and cost per week. These will be self-evident as we go along in the test. Okay, so looking good so far. All right, go back to my paper. Okay, now what we want to do is, it says here, add text and formatting so that spreadsheet looks exactly like this. Okay, this is very important. Remember, as I said in class, this is worth 11 points. 11 points out of about 40 is a lot of points. And you look at it and you think, that's easy. That's an easy 11 points. But they don't give you any clues. They don't tell me, okay, the font size has to be such and such. The font style is this type of font. It doesn't tell me that what type of color of black. Okay, so I have to be very precise just by looking at it. And even the little things here, like look at this, that row 3 is squished, so it's got to look exactly like that, okay? So I'm going to make it look like that. I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to do everything, and then I'll explain what I did, okay? All right, now let's do a couple, okay? And then I'll do the rest, okay? So let's try to make this top title page look like that, okay? That Colorado Capital Company. So I can see it looks like it's merged cells from A to F, and then row 2 are also merged from A2 to F2. So let's do that. So you can see here, okay, I've got to insert 2 rows, and I think they say that in the test. Yeah, insert 3 rows. Insert 3 rows. So great, they tell me to do that. So how do I insert rows? I put my cursor onto the 1, okay, onto the row where the number is. Okay, I double click it by putting 2 fingers on my mouse pad, and I simply hit insert. And I'll insert a row. And then I'll do that again. Insert. And did they say 2 or 3? 3 rows. Okay, so I got to do it one more time. So now, boom, insert another row. Great. So nice and easy to do that. Now, I'm going to merge the cells from A to F. Okay, so back up here. So I click on the first cell that I want to start merging, and I just drag it over by moving my finger on my mouse pad. Okay, so that's A to F. Great. I go back to home, and I select merge and center. Okay. Great, and I do the same with row 2. Okay. Just do merge and center, okay? Now, I look at the font, okay? So that looks to me like that is a sans serif font. Sans serif font means it's not a fancy font with cursive, just simple sans serif font. Eyeballing it looks like it's Arial type. And the background has to be black and the text has to be white. All right, I'm gonna do all that and then I'll explain what I did just to save some time on this recording. Okay guys, I'm back. So I formatted my banner at the top here, and as you can see, it looks pretty much similar. Okay, like I said, they don't give me exact, so I have to eyeball it. That looks to me like it is, what I chose was Arial Black as the font. That looks pretty close. It's a sans serif, so yeah, I've got a mark because they are both sans serifs. Both, that looks to me pretty much like they are similar, okay? So that's good, I did that, okay? Now, so it's got a, that's how I changed the font, was by selecting everything that is in my formula bar, my text, and then I click on my font style bar here, and I can find my font. Same thing with the style, or sorry, the size, okay? I click on inside the formula bar, select my text, and change my size of font, okay? Now, oh yeah, right here, okay, there's a little space down here, okay, I'm going to, okay, it looks like there is more space down here, okay, just going to move that down a little bit, okay, let's keep going, that looks pretty much like, I'm going to push this down, okay, that to me looks, let's do this, there we go, okay, that looks closer, okay, yeah, so I just fudged with the bottom part here, okay, what I did was I just took the text that was in this second line and I moved it here to top a line, so I made it look exactly like that. Okay, in order to do the background, click on the background, click on that little paint bucket and choose a color, which is black, okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna pause this now and we'll do part 2 and we'll do, move on to some of the actual values, formulas that we're gonna use this. All right, see ya.